G'day folks, this is Craig Castree from Edible Gardens. I'm here again on behalf of Wyndham City Council, and this time this video is about growing things in containers. Now there are all sorts of different sorts of containers, and as you can see in the background I have strawberries growing in half pots on the fence, which is a great way of being able to grow food. And it wouldn't necessarily need to be strawberries, it could be things like spinach or lettuce, all sorts. I've even seen some small, those small round carrots being grown in half pots on the fence, which is fantastic. So these half pots on the fence with strawberries in them have been strategically placed one underneath the other, as you can see. And as you can see, here it is in autumn and I'm still picking strawberries. The irrigation has a dribbler on the end of it, which is adjustable so that it actually allows more or less water depending upon how big or small the plants are. And a very easy way of being able to water. I just water the top pots and then the rest drain through the bottom over time. They're on a timer that runs for about 30 minutes. Really easy, folks. But today I'm going to show you also about hanging baskets. And I think hanging baskets are a place that people don't really give much consideration to. And they often provide spots that you ordinarily wouldn't generally grow food in. So under trees, under pergolas, around carports, all sorts of places that you could find to hang them. So it's as simple as this, folks. So I'm going to plant a lovely little attractive pansy in the middle of all of this, just so that when I eventually take out the lettuce that I'm going to plant, I've got something nice also to look at. And of course, you can put different varieties of lettuce, particularly coloured lettuce. Here's a red frisee lettuce. Here's a coral lettuce. And another different type of lettuce at the back. These are all pick and come again type lettuce. And of course, as per usual, you need to fertilise these, so just hang on, bear with me. Roughly a quarter of a handful of a pelletised manure of some sort, and certainly some mulch. I always mulch, even pots. It's vital, seriously, to stop the evaporation from the sun. You'll cut your water bills down, and the plants will do better. They stay moister for longer. So there you go. That's hanging baskets for edibles. So you can also grow food in containers, all sorts of different containers. So this is one of them. This is one of those broccoli type boxes that you often get, and you can get them down at your local fruit store. Get some decent quality veggie type potting mix. Some sort, please don't be tempted to use your own soil. And make sure you keep it down from the lip, about 25 mil or an inch in the old scale, roughly. And simply, I've actually put a little bit of newspaper in the bottom of this just to stop the soil initially from falling out. And we'll plant it out with a couple of lettuce. There's a red one just to make it look a little pretty. And let's get another green one. And let's get some rainbow chard. Just bear with me. So rainbow chard is a bit like silver beet. So we'll put a red one, a green one, and another reddish orange on the other side. There you go, folks. That's just as simple as it is. So a good watering in, about quarter of a handful of a pelletised manure around the outside of the plant, each one. A little bit of mulch. It's up to you what sort of mulch you use. Please don't use stone if that's not mulch. Something like sugarcane mulch would be ideal. Give it another watering in and away you go. Another type of container that you can grow food in is called a wicking bed. Now these are a big self-watering container, and they can be made out of all sorts of things. They have a self-watering reservoir in the bottom of the in this container, and in this instance we've put a bladder inside it and filled it up half full of stone, and about halfway up we put in a fabric to stop the soil from sinking down, and we filled the rest up with soil, and then we've planted out the plants. Now it has a fill pipe that goes down into the stone where we poke the hose in and fill it up, and it comes out of the reservoir when it's full at the overflow pipe. And the beauty with these folks is, particularly if you're a bit forgetful or a bit time poor, you never forget to water these because they water themselves. And as you can see, I've got a small array of all sorts of different things in here. I've got some celery, some different varieties of lettuce, a little bit of lobelia because I like the companion plant, some spring onions, a bit more celery. And if you have a close look, the last of the lettuce plants that came out of here were in seed. So I shake the seed out and look what I've got coming up. Heaps and heaps of lettuce seedlings that I'll take out of this and I'll plant throughout my garden. Volunteers are a wonderful thing. So I hope this gives you some inspiration on some container growing.